2023 was a great year for VR, especially on PSVR 2, and in fact, I just completed a game that might be the best game of the year on that platform. You want to know what it is? Let's find out in the latest Megadad's review.
This is really nice. Just two regular guys hanging out, except one of the guys is a dog. Who is a good boy?
Thanks for joining us once again here on Megadads. This is where gamer life meets real life. Before we get to the review of Arizona Sunshine 2, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, you like the video, and leave comments below on your thoughts on the game and our content. Now, as I said, this has been a fantastic year for VR on PlayStation. We've had such great games like Humanity, the Gran Turismo 7 VR expansion. We got Resident Evil 4 in full VR. Great stuff on the platform. But I just played through Arizona Sunshine 2, and boy, oh boy, this game is absolutely incredible. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't typically like first-person shooters that much, but the immersion and the sense of humor and the sense of character in Arizona Sunshine 2 really made this an incredibly enjoyable experience for me. Arizona Sunshine 2 puts you in the boots of one of the lone survivors of the zombie apocalypse. You're living all on your own in your trailer out in the Arizona wasteland as you slowly pop off zombies as they encroach on your space, and you're living your life off of old food and mistakenly drinking your own piss out of beer bottles in your trailer. You're kind of a redneck, you're kind of a loser, and this game really revels in its wry and dark sense of humor, which at first I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to really appreciate through the entire duration of this game. It's kind of a thing in video games that if you have a character who speaks to himself throughout an entire game, it can wear thin, and you can get a lot of canned and repeated voiceover work.
Oh, shit! Buddy, we gotta get on the train now! Come on! Come on, legs, leg faster! Oh my god. Thank you, legs. I'll never let you go numb sitting on the toilet again.
But really, there's a strong performance to be had here by the main character. And a lot of that comes in when he finds his friend and really the catalyst of this adventure, Buddy the dog. Now, Buddy is your canine companion. You rescue him out of a crashed helicopter. Now, Buddy becomes not only your soulmate and your good little boy, but he's a really useful tool in the game itself. Buddy can hold extra weapons for you. Buddy can squeeze into small areas that you can't to retrieve keys or to pull switches. You really can send Buddy to do all sorts of things that you physically cannot. And it doesn't just make for really cool gameplay, but it really ingrains that sense of partnership, and you develop a real connection with this dog, which of course is heightened in VR because you're actually going through this situation with Buddy. You can pet the dog, you can feed the dog.
Come. Way to go, buddy.
It really is a fun and fantastic time going through the end of the world with Buddy the dog. Now, Arizona Sunshine 2 is a shooter game, so we got to talk about the gameplay here. Now, a VR shooter by its very definition is a much more immersive experience than playing a shooter with a controller. Instead of reloading with the click of a button, you're going to have to eject the magazine from your gun, pull an extra clip from your vest, slide it into position, and then cock the weapon in order to be able to use it again. You have two handheld shooters on either of your hip, and of course a heavy gun on your back. This is kind of standard VR shooter fare, so you can have shotguns, machine guns, heavy rifles, things like that slung on your back. Then on your hip you can have Uzis, 6 shooters, magnums, things like that. Each weapon feels really good, especially with the PSVR Sense controllers. There's a lot of kick in that vibration, and of course the adaptive triggers are fantastic as well. Each weapon feels really unique, and you got to get comfortable with using them. In fact, I found myself having a real preference on weapons, not just because of the damage they do or the range that they have, but how comfortable they are to use, how you reload them, how they handle. I found myself leaning much more into machine guns rather than shotguns because you have to pump out each shell one by one, and that can get tricky and it can be slow, and the zombies can get to you before you really reload. So you have to really think about what weapons you're going to carry throughout this adventure. Now, one thing we always talk about here on Megadad's Reviews is the family focus. Is this game appropriate to play in front of your kids or with your kids? And absolutely not. Arizona Sunshine 2 is a gory and vulgar experience top to bottom. Do not play this one under any circumstances around your children. This one's from the Mega Dads and the Mega Moms only. Arizona Sunshine 2 really is a fantastic experience from start to finish, and I was impressed with how varied the experience was. It's not a one-trick pony by any means. It's funny, yet sincere and touching. It's got beautiful graphics and incredible zombie physics. The action can be thrilling and visceral, and the storyline, while pretty simple at its foundation, has some amazing twists that you won't see coming by the end. So if you're looking for a new VR thrill ride to start off your year, you cannot go wrong with Arizona Sunshine 2. I'm giving this game a 4 out of 5.
Hey, buddy, bark twice if you know how to fly a 737. Nothing to see here. We gotta team up here, buddy. I just want one human being, Fred! Just one!